Alright, hi, it's the man in the shack. Time to run through 1986. Happy to say that a couple of things have come out that have really made a big difference. In particular, this one mod containing a bunch of different elements that have will solved a few actual problems. Before I run through 1986, I can just show you this. The arms are corrected. We've got another pair of these half arms, and even better, they're inside the the left and the right arms separately, instead of just the pair of arms. So we can use them and put other stuff on them, and there's several different versions of them. But it, that was the last kind of missing ingredient for Breaker here. So I think he's that was a real good get for him. Several people have benefited from that. Oh, this one, this one is this is making me pretty darn happy right here. This helmet and those goggles, that was the missing ingredient, and so now I could, with this being its own green, it's the right helmet for him, and I could concentrate on making this blue while leaving the rest. So his color balance is now correct. He's got all the pieces. He's even got the damn goggles on the top of the helmet that would fit. Problem solved. I have no more issues with Airborne. Actually, I do. One thing, I had to lose the backpack in order to get the blue. If I could somehow get a big paratrooper backpack style thing that he has, the big parachute backpack type of thing, and put it on there, that would make him whole. But as it is, very, very good. Let's see. Come to think of it, should I put... Let's go left arm. Because he needed this. Here it is, XOF. XOF and XCOM. The best thing that's happened to this in a while. There we go. Now Doc's fixed. Okay, who else? Oh, Ricardo, put it on him. That was the last ingredient there. Ricardo is now perfect. I can't think of anything else to put on him. Let's see. That Spirit. Oh. You know what, actually, the long sleeves on Spirit, he needs to... Does he need to close the gap more than he needs? I think that I want to leave these on him for now. I may talk myself out of that later. Airtight, the helmet, same helmet as Airborne, without the goggles. It's even got, kind of the pattern on top of it, but that's got that big bulky shape that we need in order for Airtight to feel right. Still need a good torso and a back for him, but it's closer. Flint, fixed. Flint is in excellent shape now. No issues. Footloose, he was already alright. Forgot he had different arms. Shipwreck also was able to fix. Arms are now good. Would still love a sailor's hat. Toll booth. There you are. Toll booth also fixed. And still needs his hat back. And that's it. So let's run through 1986. You can see down here I've actually I've continued on, but I'm going to just do 1986 for this video. So starting out with Beachhead, who has had a up to bottom to top revamp, because another thing that came out was this balaclava with the correctly shaped opening for the first time in the history of the game. So that's great. So these arms also are these are the long sleeved version of those same arms. I went in and oops, hey, come back. I went in and there we go. I went back to the drawing board and said I knew I wanted this particular torso. It does have a hood that's pulled back, but I'm okay with that. I can live with that being on there. I don't know, it's kind of cool. But basically, it's got these vertical things on. Let me put him on so you can see it. There. It's got these vertical things on there that are very like his flak jacket, which is black. And then it's all green underneath, so I was able to, match this up real good. The thing is here, one of these was secondary and one of these was primary. So I had to do the thing where I duplicated the green on both, because this is its own color. It's that kind of gray. It's close enough to his that I'm okay with it. And these are actually the same legs that I ended up using on Flint to do the same trick, where I just do this two colors to make the same color. Because these are close enough to Beachhead's camo legs that I'm happy with it. And I think this is a very, very large improvement over the previous version of Beachhead, which was compromised in numerous ways. There are no major flaws here, I think. Something else may come out that that eclipses it, but for now, I'm happy. This looks very bright for such a dark green, but that's just kind of, I couldn't get it. If I could get it more dull, I would. But there was also the balancing game going on. So anyway, that's Beachhead. Very good. Cross country. I've done some touch-up work. His model was pretty good before. Shins. Oops. No shins. Okay. So, yeah, he's got the metal on the bottom of his legs, and the gray and the green color scheme. These arms work pretty well with this vest, which is the other part of his costume that he needed. So, dang it, no shins. And, yeah, not much to say about him. Let's see, dial tone. Here I made him a short guy, and his outfit is pretty much exactly how it was before. I was able to duplicate all the pieces to it, and I've been very happy with this outcome for a while. I think it really captures his color scheme. Like all the colors are in the right place. It's all down to these camouflage arms. These were kind of the key to this, to getting this right, because then I could just, I made it to where their beret was black, and then I found black pants to go with that, and then I found the green, and I knew these arms would work, and that's how dial tone works. So let's see, Iceberg, another in the snow series. I've again been able to make him have enough different parts. This hat, which is the same one that Cross Country uses, actually. This hat fixes Iceberg. This lovely set with this thing around it is one of the torso add-ons. And so I can put it over this regular old, because him with the ice blue, that's kind of the striking feature on Iceberg, right? Is that big hey, really, really bright blue in the middle, and everything else is white. And that's pretty easy to get. But there's not that many torsos that where the whole thing is that color, right? So many of the torsos have just stuff all over them, which is good for a big a lot of diversity and stuff. But sometimes I want just the one that's that's just kind of a lot of color. And that's Iceberg, and I think that pulls off pretty well. And I gave him this cool looking gun too, so or the cool looking pattern on the gun, so I can line him up with Snow Job and Frostbite and feel like it's okay. Let's see, Leatherneck, same design that I had before, except here again I'm using these new arms that I'm just in love with. And he's always worked pretty well. I've been able to bump up the size. I have him, I think, a little bit. What did I put Gung Ho at? I think Gung Ho's just a little bit bigger. Yeah, 54. So keep Leatherneck at 53. Take him down a peg. He's got the short man's disease. He knows that he's not quite as tall as the other Marine, and it drives him crazy. And so he's going to yell at wetsuit because, he doesn't want to get on Gung Ho's bad side. Okay. Lifeline. This helmet is another find from this new set. Beyond that, the trick with him is just making sure that there's both, that it's mostly red with some white showing around on the chests and stuff. Let's look. Stop doing that. I love this pair of pants because it gives him, because it gives him white shoes, and this other, in this. So here we've got red, white, and it's all good. There's no mistaking that's Lifeline with dark glasses, and the helmet is actually supposed to be red with the white, but I really like the way this looks, and because there's not quite as much white all over the chest as I was thinking, this was one that that works, I think, for him, because he needs to have a collared shirt, right? So there's only so many collared shirts. And I also put the harness chest gear on him too to sort of break that up, because a number of guys do use those, and I want to make sure that it's not, visible. It's like, oh, hey, there's that shirt again. I don't want that to be the thing that I think of. And in this case, having these straps here breaks it up enough that it doesn't feel that way. And those are one of those torso add-ons. Again, with this, right, he's got the thing on the back so he could strap some dude to it, like a wounded person. He could just strap to that and carry another guy. How about that? Yeah. No shins. Need to do thighs. I do that. Alright. Lifeline. Lift ticket. I had come upon this model with these arms and this chest before. This is actually the same piece, I think, that I used for Duke, isn't it? Let's go thighs, not shins, and it doesn't do that when I do this. There we go. Okay, yeah, same piece as Duke's, but it gives, what it gives is the brown vest, because this is always brown, over the red shirt, green pants. This pilot's helmet, this is new. This is perfection. I'm extremely pleased with Lift Ticket. Yeah, a lot of these have been working out very, very well. And this set really, really did something. Love that helmet. Okay, Lift Ticket. Low light. Was always easy, he's like, I don't think I've ever had a bad model of low light. I still don't have red goggles, Like, or if I could tint the actual lens on this to be red, that would be pretty cool. That's the only thing but that's always been missing. And I think I've been on this design for quite a long time. But yeah, he works pretty well. So Mainframe. This is a pretty set. Here's those arms. This made him work. He's always had I had long sleeves on him. I had glasses on him for a long time. I took them off, and I'm just gonna leave them off. And he's he's a pretty plain looking dude, just kind of gray BDU type uniform stuff. With a black helmet. The black is that Grimm's helmet that is always black. So yeah, cool deal. Computer guy, #1 hacker. Okay, Sci-Fi. Push the ridiculous on him, of course. I disapprove of many aspects of his design and always have. But it's interesting anyway. And I think that there's a lot to how well this can recreate it in kind of almost a more, I hate to say realistic way, but he's got silver boots, and it like I like having this sort of this machine style thing. It makes it feel like it's armor instead of he's wearing silver boots. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this helmet is the perfect sci-fi helmet, and I have this thing on underneath it to where because you could see his eyes through it if I didn't put that thing there. But I did, and it cuts it off more, so it looks a little like it's dipping down, outside this thing. But yeah, this is very close to his helmet, just by accident. So we use this Advent chest that has another one of these. He's in the same series as Flash and Grand Slam and those guys that have the armored front and tripwire. And I've been faithful to my desire to have to have no crossover between those, to use different armored torsos for each guy and find the way for it to be his. In his case, I wanted to preserve. I wanted to have this around there, but I wanted to preserve the shoulders as the same color because it's like as much. I want it to only be green and metal, but I want it to be. There wanted to be a lot of green on this too, like especially in the shoulders. He is actually using the same arms as Flash because with the laser soldier, I wanted to be consistent with this thing, so yeah, that's how it is. There's Sci-Fi. If I could clean up his legs a little bit, I would. If I could take off this part, he's actually wearing that shin gear that I was complaining about a second ago. He's actually, I think, the only one at all wearing one of those, and it's partially to cover up some silver that was up here, right? So you can see where it's clipping a little bit. It would be more silver on his thighs, but I put these things on him, but that kind of cover it up. If I could. Yeah, I think it's possible that there are no better legs in there for him, at least at this time. I'd like him to be slightly more streamlined in the end, but he's good for now. Okay, Slipstream is another short guy. I really love the size changing thing because it makes a real difference. This is that thing. This is that same thing. This mask here that was on Sci-Fi just a second ago. It was on underneath his mask. It's this kind of mirrored thing, and I like this because it gives it's like because Slipstream had this kind of look that was this old pilot, but he's this high tech guy, and so I'm like, because he was driving or he was flying the Conquest, and it had all this, super souped up, like when the first time you meet the guy, he's like playing Galaga or something, and he's just destroying it, and the idea is that he's a Twitch gamer. That it was the mid 80s at this point, and arcades had been around for a few years, so he was, I think, meant in part to be, to like, he was part of the new technical generation type of thing. He wasn't, I don't think he was necessarily like one of the Vietnam guys like most of them, up to that point anyway. He's got this. He's got this streamlined thing, and he's always had like he's got he's bulkier in the chest than he is in the waist, and this, I believe, is a combination of a torso that does that anyway, and some chest gear that kind of adds this thing over it, which again, given his, I like the idea of harnesses and stuff on guys that might be sitting in vehicles, and that type of thing. And then these things kind of bulk out this whole area more. And then other than that, he's just like slim flight suit type of thing. So I like him. Let's see. Slipstream, wetsuit. The last one on this batch, and he is I think pretty close. The blue is too bright. I want it like it's like jarringly bright. On Iceberg, you kind of want it to be that way, but yeah. I like this top on wetsuit a lot, because it's slim, it's form-fitting. It's like it's his kind of thing. The middle should be white, but I'm not complaining. And let's see, body going to thighs. Let's say, and so he's got a similar type of just one of the leaner versions of the legs that were in the same color. And then the orange on the helmet, which is kind of like, okay, so he has to have the goggles. I've always used this Muton mask for him, which is different than the one, because I needed it to be different than torpedoes. And all the other masks, there's tons of masks and stuff, but they're pretty bulky. And I still kind of like this one because it gives it all metal here, allowing the rest of the orange here. And this is one of those component helmets that I've used on a few other places and stuff, but I just kind of needed something that was, ideally there would be some more stuff around here, but I have not found the combination that works better than this so far. Yeah, I think a lot of the elements of wetsuit are here, but I don't feel like he's really all quite done yet. And that's it for 1986. I'll do 1987 in a different video. And that's it for now.